My father's grandfather, Thomas Barnes, a dark-skinned man, was born a decade before the Civil War, 1849, and lived to be 94, dying in 1942, but still years before I arrived. But Thomas Barnes was a storyteller. He left the family a 100-page handwritten manuscript that included his own autobiography and much of what he knew about his mother and father. One of the stories that Thomas Barnes told the family was about his father, Henry, born in bondage, enslaved on a farm in Virginia. Let me say that again. One of my ancestors, my great-great-grandfather on my father's side, was a black man born enslaved in rural Virginia. My dad told me Thomas Barnes' stories from the time I was 3, 4, and 5 years old. So I've been living with these people. Even though I never met them, they were very real to me and still are. They're in here. Thomas Barnes was an old man, even when he was telling his stories to my dad when my dad was a child. So I knew when I started telling Thomas Barnes stories that I wanted to use the voice of one of the very elderly male members of my dad's family that I did meet. And I wanted to use Thomas Barnes' own words. So these stories are taken right from the manuscript. So listen to Thomas Barnes telling his father's story in his own words. My father, Henry, was born round about the year 1818 near Richmond, Virginia. My father said he remembered very little of his mother or father because he was taken from the farm at such a young age. Henry was purchased by a man calling himself Reverend Barnes, who came from Hagerstown, Maryland, to buy up young colored boys and men. Contrary to the customs of the time, Reverend Barnes had his enslaved workmen educated so they could read, write, and calculate, and then had them trained in skilled trades so that he might lease them out to his neighbors in Hagerstown. Those colored boys and men were the unpaid source of Reverend Barnes' significant wealth. Now, Henry, taken from the family at such a young age, had a difficult time in Hagerstown to start, but he was educated there and trained as a gardener and a seed man. And over time, he became very good at his work and took great pride in it. But before that, my father's story that was when he was taken from his family, a woman he remembered as his mother gave him a small quilt to take away with him. My father said she did that so that he would remember where he came from. My father also said that Reverend Barnes was a cold exploiter of colored boys and men. He also said that the gift of his education and the skilled trade were among the greatest blessings of my father's life.